morning, buenos dias. Thank you all for joining for our very first Train the Trainers on best practices for supporting community college bound students. 10,000 Degrees is a strong advocate of the community college pathway, especially for students from low income backgrounds. And so we are especially excited that you've decided to join us bright and early for today's session. Again, if you haven't signed in, please use the QR code on the screen to sign in or the link in the chat to sign in. This will allow us to share with you all today's presentation material after today's presentation. Welcome. My name is Tanya Rakenis. I'm the Program Director of Community College Success. I have the privilege of working with our team of fellows and managers who work closely with our community college students. A little bit about myself. I am an alum of 10,000 Degrees. I received support from the program when I was in high school and got reconnected after I graduated college and have been with an organization for 13 years now. Throughout my time here, I've held different roles, but my focus has always been centered on community college programming, something I'm deeply passionate about as a transfer alum who attended Santa Rosa Junior College. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues to introduce themselves, but also just want to acknowledge their support in putting today's presentation together and our ops team who are supporting with behind the scenes support. So thank you all, and I'll pass it over to Abigail.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. Good morning, buenos dias. My name is Abigail Gonzaga, and I am the Senior Program Manager for Community College Success, specifically overseeing College of Marin and Contra Costa. I'm also really excited about today's presentation because I'm also a 10,000 Degrees alum, and as a former community college bound student who transferred to a four-year university as well, I can personally relate, and I'm eager to hear about our panelists. So again, thank you all for being here this morning with us, and with that, I'll pass it on to Carla.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. My name is Carla Moran. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the College Access Team, serving the San Jose and San Mateo area. I'm really excited to have you all here from our amazing panelists and our amazing student panelists as well. I'll go ahead and pass it to Perry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Perry M. I am the four-year Success Director, supporting students through college as they enter their four-year pathways and assisting transfer students as well.
Okay, so for those of you maybe joining us today who are not familiar with our work, 10,000 Degrees is an equity-focused scholarship provider and college success nonprofit. With 44 plus years of proven impact, we provide equitable access to college and career success through holistic approach and near-peer mentorship, led by our fellows who are recent graduates, and many of them are also 10,000 Degrees alumni. Our mission is to achieve educational equity and support students from low-income backgrounds to and through college to realize their full potential and positively impact their communities and the world. Guided by our mission, we support students to, through, and beyond college by providing a variety of program opportunities through our Access and Success programming. Starting with college preparedness, early in high school, we provide students with college readiness, application workshops, exploring post-secondary options, and also providing summer workshops to address summer melt. We support students in navigating the college and financial aid because we know these are systems that can be complex and challenging, especially for first-generation students. We strategically focus on application and matriculation because we know this is a critical moment in their journeys. We guide students through the financial aid application process, providing one-on-one support to help them maximize free aid and graduate debt-free. We also support with the financial aid renewal process each year. Once in college, our fellows provide continuous support to help students succeed. This includes offering office hours both in person and virtually to address the diverse needs of our students. A key focus is establishing support systems by connecting students to the existing services on their campus, which we know are often underutilized. We focus on community building to cultivate strong rapport and foster a sense of belonging where our students feel seen, supported, and celebrated throughout their college journey. We also support community college students with the transfer process, as we know that this can feel overwhelming to navigate on their own. We focus on transfer awareness, sharing important deadlines related to transfer, ensuring that our students can access resources on campus, such as the Transfer Center, connecting with a counselor to ensure that they have an updated education plan that supports their educational goals. And lastly, all of our 10,000 Reads scholars and alumni can participate in our career and alumni success programming, which includes mentorship, informational newsletters, internship opportunities, networking opportunities, and so much more. 10,000 Degrees is in 8 Bay Area counties, including Utah. And while we've always supported community college students, it was in 2012 that we launched our community college program at College of Marin and Santa Rosa Junior College as our Grow Community College Success initiative from our last strategic plan. And community college remains a focus as we're currently working on our strategic plan for the next 5 years. Over the past 13 years, we've expanded to support more students and are now partnered with 7 community colleges, which you see on the right. Again, we started at College of Marin and Santa Rosa Junior College, and then expanded to support City College of San Francisco, Napa Valley College, Contra Costa College, De Anza, and Evergreen Valley College. Here, our fellows host in-person office hours twice a week to meet our students where they're at. This is where our fellows also work with our partners on campus, again, to connect students to those existing services like learning communities, like EOPS, counseling, financial aid, to name a few examples of that warm handoff and, again, connection to those campus resources. We're currently supporting a little over 1,300 community college students with our programming. Our community college students transfer to and graduate from 4-year college institutions at twice the national average compared to their peers. And now I just want to ground us on the importance of community college pathways. The community college is the largest higher education system in the country. And with more students moving in this direction, community college plays a vital role in expanding opportunity and advancing equity in higher education. It offers career programs, workforce development, certificates, associate's degree, transfer opportunities, and it's a strong pathway to a bachelor's degree. By providing students with access, quality education, community college opens doors that lead to academic, career, and personal growth. The importance of community college continues to grow, serving as a powerful driver of upward mobility and providing students with countless opportunities. This is why 10,000 Degrees has a community college program and focus initiative designed to support students from low income and first generation backgrounds with navigating with access and navigating the complexities of the community college system that will also support them through completion and continue support with our 4-year programming once they transfer. Today, you will have the opportunity to hear from an incredible panel, including our partners who will highlight best practices for supporting community college students, and from our students themselves who will highlight the challenges and successes in navigating community college. And we're going to close with some takeaways that hopefully you all can apply in your practice. Okay, great. Thank you all. Speaking of our partners, this work could not be possible without strong collaboration and partnership. Cross collaboration between high schools, community colleges, CBOs like 10,000 Degrees create systems of support that help students not only access, but also help them succeed. Through intentional collaboration, there is opportunity for alignment, shared resources, information. Trust is built across institutions. And the impact of cross-collaboration is powerful. Students feel supported, engagement increases, and persistence rate rises. And so now, without just further ado, I want to now introduce you to, well, I'm going to pass it over to Carla to introduce you to our panelists.
Thank you, Tanya. So I'm excited for you all to hear from our amazing panelists. You will hear from Julian, Mariana, and Juan today from our partner counties. And so we'll move on to the next slide. Awesome. So we're going to get started with the first question. We're going to start with Juan, and then Mariana, and then Julian. So if you can all Please share your name, role, and how your work supports students in preparing for or transitioning into community college.
Okay, good morning, everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much to 10,000 Degrees for this opportunity. I'm very excited to be here, and I hope you can take something from my experience working at the JC. I'm originally from Mexico City, but I grew up in Napa, so I'm also a community college, participant. I guess you can say that I went to Napa Valley College, and then I transferred to Sonoma State, and I stayed here in the area of Sonoma County. So I'm currently at the Santa Rosa Junior College. I've been there for almost 20 years with many different roles, but currently I'm a student outreach specialist. So I do a lot of support. I support a lot of the students. Of course, there's many types of support. It comes in different levels. I go to the high schools myself, or they come to us for tours. We talk about academic programs at the JC, who is SRJC, student services, how to pay for college, technical support as well, how to register, and another thing, we follow up with the students. So, however, my main objective when I working with students is to build a strong, welcoming relationship with them, have direct contact. One of my personal goals is to let them know that they can count on me at any time. And actually, I welcome them and I say, you can text me, call me, Zoom, phone, in person, whatever it takes, as long as they feel comfortable. And I'm trying to build a relationship. And we do more than just student outreach. I like to consider myself an academic coach. We teach the students, we inform them, we guide them, encourage them, we educate them, and we're trying to make sure that they follow a pathway that they are feel comfortable, and that's their desire. And so ultimately, we're just preparing students, and that's my goal. And my relationship with the students is very strong, and I like to believe that trust has a lot to do with it from the beginning when they meet me. And I'll pass it on to the next one.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Mariana Chavez Picasso, also super excited to be here with our wonderful 10,000 Degrees family. I am the supervisor for counseling and post-secondary in our College and Career Readiness Division of San Francisco Unified. And I have been partnering, I've been with the district this is my 19th year, and also a community college alum as well. So much like many in this group today, like Juan and Tanya, definitely have a special place in my heart for community college work. And the work that I really do that brings me into this space today with all of you is I've been partnering with City College of San Francisco, our local campus, and San Francisco Unified through a partnership called Bridge to Success. And we've been doing that now since 2010, which is hard to believe. And this partnership really focuses primarily on removing barriers for our students who are pursuing a community college path, and to utilize relationships, partnerships, systems to make a smooth transition for our students ideally, and then impact persistence and retention rates. And this work is really done in partnership with many people at this community college campus, the outreach department, and other teams. And then in the San Francisco Unified, it's a partnership with also our college access team and our dual enrollment team. And then we, as I'll talk about later on, really incorporate our high school counselors and the community-based partners in the work, and spend a lot of time together implementing our strategies and program together. So I'm excited to tell you more about that.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Julian Solis. I'm the Director of Outreach and Partnerships at College of Marin, one of the campuses that 10KD supports. And I've been at College of Marin a little over 9 years now, and similar to a lot of the folks on the call, I've been collaborating with 10KD since I first started there. As a first-gen graduate, first-gen college student, first-gen graduate that started their journey at the community college system, I'm really excited, and just a lot of my work focuses on presenting information to students. So talking about pathways, different options, how students can begin their own educational journey after high school. just exploring opportunities there, but also really informing students and families about the different support systems, not just on campus, but off campus as well. And collaborating with 10KD has been a huge support because I think financial aid becomes a key piece for a lot of students in deciding, not just deciding where they're going to go, but actually how do they continue their educational educational goals, educational dreams, while leveraging whether it's financial aid, scholarships, different opportunities to help support that. And really excited that we get to play a little piece in that. We support students through the entire matriculation process. Financial aid is one of them, and a variety of different programs or initiatives where we're able to support students not just in high school, so accessing dual enrollment, or College of Marin's Compass program, which is a high school-based equity dual enrollment program. Our summer career academies, our summer bridge program, a lot of these things really running in collaboration or connecting students to 10,000 degrees. And really excited to be here and share some more details about that here in the next few minutes. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you to our panelists. Also, if our audience wants to ask questions to specific folks, or if you want to ask a group question, please put it in the chat and make sure to engage with us. I love the hearts. I love the reactions. So please show some love to our panel, to our panelists, and then we'll move on to our next question. It's amazing to have leaders like you all. So thank you for the work that you do. Starting with Juan, what does strong collaboration between high schools, community colleges, and community-based organizations look like from your perspective?
Well, I think we can all agree that this is no secret that strong collaborations are extremely important in our line of work. And for student success, we definitely need to join forces. We have been, but we need more. And but there are a couple of things that come to mind about collaboration here at Santa Rosa Junior College, and I'm going to break it down into two: internal collaboration and, of course, external collaboration. And what I mean by internal collaboration is that we are very grateful to have the support of the many departments at Santa Rosa Junior College in order to help the students, such as financial aid. I mean, many of my colleagues were talking about financial aid, the Dream Center for our dreamers, admissions and records, EOPS, Disability Resource Department, English as a second language, and more. The list goes on and on and on. It's very important to have this collaboration, so when we need their support in order for the students, we are aligned with them. We have the same goal, and we have their support. And and externally, what I mean by that is we all know the strong collaboration with the high schools. We work with many high schools in our area, and just having that communication with the counselors, the college and career counselors, having the support from the principal, from the top administrator. And also, for example, here we have the Sonoma County Office of Education. We have the City of Santa Rosa School District. Obviously, 10,000 degrees. They are all form a great, strong collaboration in order to be able to provide the college and career nights, the Cash for College, the workshops that we provide. So these are all important collaborations that we are very grateful. And so yes, internally is definitely a must, and externally is something that always we need to grow.
All right. You'll see a lot of, I think, overlap in themes across the work that I represent from the high school lens and then from the community college lens. Similarly, so our work in San Francisco is really also about cross collaboration and planning together. I really like how Juan phrased that external and internal kind of collaboration. We are a small city, but we have about almost 26 or so high schools, regular country, traditional, alternative, and county schools. So it's a lot to navigate for our community college, which is also a very large community college. And so we've had to do a lot of work spending time in each other's spaces. And that was very early on in that, I mentioned 2010. In the first few years, we spent a lot of time just being in each other's spaces. We bring our counselors and staff. We do a lot of our meetings at the community college. And that was really intentional so that we can get to understand each other's roles across the institutions, our why and our vision, and what our responsibility is in our respective roles, and be able to break down kind of myths and early on tensions and frustrations across institutions so that we can kind of just be in each other's spaces and feel more aligned and cohesive. And really what was important too is considering who is missing from the table and thinking about, and that comes up in a later, and thinking about how to sustain as well, but always reevaluating. This partnership has been a bridge across the institutions and other institutions like San Francisco State University, and it's changed a lot in 15 years. So we've had to constantly think about who's missing from the table, or in particular planning spaces, whether it be student voices for a particular event, our community-based organizations. Are we missing decision-making power in the room? Representation of backgrounds in the space. And then also, I think what's really important is thinking about the makeup of the district or the city and the schools, because many of the community colleges have dual enrollment programs partnering with high schools. And sometimes that person is the same person that is coordinating a lot of the outreach with the community colleges. For us, we have a team of dual enrollment, and then we have our Bridge to Success team. And we're really fortunate over the years to kind of find the perfect recipe of coming together and bringing that work kind of all into the same hub so that we are not duplicating services, but really maximizing services, because there should be a through line, right? We really want to be intentional about making that connection around dual enrollment into our students thinking about pursuing community college. And so we really have my colleague we work really closely with and have learned a lot from in the last few years. We've been able to do, I think, a lot of great work, and we've had some really great key partners come on in City College, and making sure we connect those dots has been important.
Very similar on my end, but I had a couple of things written down, and I had very similar to what has been shared. But I will start with being really intentional in making connections. So I can look back to probably my first couple of weeks when I started at College of Marin. I know I was connected with Tanya, and we've since collaborated since the entirety of my time at the college. But just really intentional in connecting folks and thinking about I think taking into account what Mariana said, thinking about the relationship, the partnership, and constantly reevaluating and shifting as needed. One of the things that comes to mind is, especially in the last probably like 5 years or so, we've really shifted our efforts in supporting ELD students, so students that are in English language development. And I know that was one of the focus areas for 10,000 Degrees as well. And so we were able to rethink our outreach efforts with that population, with those students, at the same time being able to connect them with 10,000 Degrees for the financial support, financial aid support if they qualify, but also the scholarship option as well, scholarship support. So really excited to just kind of talk about that and highlight one of those efforts. But the other thing that I would also say is being able to share up-to-date information and up-to-date contacts. It's one of the things that I've really appreciated from 10KD is as they have some of the fellows or some of the leadership kind of transition in and out, being able to connect with them and just really have an idea who those point people are going to be, especially in relation to our campus or some of the efforts in the areas that we support. And one last thing that I want to highlight is just being able to share, not just whether it's events, it's different different things that we put on. One of the things that really comes to mind is having my team, folks from the college attend some of the different events that 10,000 Degrees puts on, whether it's things like this Train the Trainer or the financial aid training and overview. and also inviting them to have a presence on our campus, not just with their office hours, but some of the different events and outreach. For example, one of the things that comes to mind is being able to bring students to the campus and having 10,000 Degrees provide some of the staffing support for that. More in a chaperone capacity, but allowing for some time for students to connect with their staff during longer parts of the day, and not just have it be a 30-minute presentation or something, but being really intentional about that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. It definitely takes a community to make sure that we are able to support our students through their transitioning from high school to college. And so thank you again for your answers, and the intention that you have behind your work is amazing. So thank you again. Again, show some love to our panelists. If you do have questions, add it in the chat. But we'll go ahead into our next question. And so starting with Juan, can you share some strategies or examples of partnerships that have really made a difference for students, like shared workshops, campus visits, co-hosted events, or aligned advising? And what impact have you seen from these collaborations for students in your institution, or even the broader community, as a smoother enrollment? Or it could look like a smoother enrollment, reduced summer melt, or stronger student outcomes.
Excuse me. Yeah, yes, of course. Strategies and partnerships. So for us at Santa Rosa Junior College, what has really, really worked has been the direct partnership with the high schools, of course, and having that intentional, come up with a plan. We have a list of activities that work for us that we think that have been very successful in the past. For example, application workshops. A group of us, our team goes to the high school, goes to a classroom, or at a certain time of the day, and we have about a large number of students who want to participate and go to Santa Rosa Junior College, and we work with them with all the steps, all the matriculation steps, starting with the creation of the CCC Apply. That it is incredible how for some students it is very difficult to create that account. And then after that, we move into the application process. So we also have financial aid workshops. And we talk about partnerships and collaborations. We are very grateful to have the support of 10,000 Degree when Santa Rosa Junior College offers Cash for College nights at the high school. So we go there and we have a team of collaborators and support. Office hours. We understand that every high school is different. So we try to work with the high school and be intentional on what works for them. Many high schools ask for office hours. They want somebody there. And it's, kind of like a consistency. For example, every Wednesday from 12 to 2, they want somebody there. So we make an effort to accommodate the high school. And tours, that's another thing that really works. Many students have never been at our campus and they're planning to attend Santa Rosa Junior College. So offering them a tour has been very, very successful. And in that tour, we provide also workshops, financial aid workshops, application workshops, and talk about our academic support, student services support. So we have all of these activities have been very, very successful. And one thing that I do want to mention about a strategy that has worked for us is I'm going to shout out to Hillsborough High School. They, in collaboration with and support from the top administrators, every student, regardless of where they want to go to a four-year college or a community college, every student is asked. Almost you cannot obligate them, but it's a requirement that they provide, that they have given their high school seniors. They all need to submit a Santa Rosa Junior College application. Once again, you probably have plans to go to Berkeley or you want to go to UC Santa Barbara. It doesn't matter. Their top administrators want them to submit an application just in case something goes wrong. And we all know that many students have the desire to go to a four-year college right out of high school, and something goes wrong, and now they just don't know what to do. So this Plan B has been very, very successful for Hillsborough High School, and their statistics show. So that's a strategy that we want to repeat in other high schools as well, and we're trying to make that work, but it's a little challenging. But that's a strategy. Lastly, what I do want to say, a strategy, my personal strategy, is when I want to build relationships with the students, is you know, I offer them my cell phone number. I know this is many people don't feel comfortable providing their cell phone number, but I do, and I get a lot of text, especially. They need support. Sometimes it's a Sunday night and they text me, and if I can, I will answer back. If not, I'll let them know. But that's my personal strategy on how to connect with them, build a relationship, have their trust that they can count on me anytime when they need help. And with that, I'll pass it on.
Okay, this is my favorite topic. It's all the things that we get to do. Very similar, and I think to one in terms of a lot of effort around the enrollment process, and that's that removing barriers piece. Like Juan said, that application process, sometimes we joke it can be more difficult than a university application in some ways. And so we've gone through many iterations of what it looks like of cross collaboration, of bringing City College staff onto our campus, and then all of both of our institutions being faced, like many, with budget cuts and loss of counseling staff. And so we've shifted and pivoted to things that are more sustainable, which I'll talk about later. But I'll try to get through all of these because I have a lot I want to say on this exciting topic. But one of the big things that have come out of our Bridge to Success work is we really designed a concept around creating the same experience and enthusiasm and significance around the transition that students have when they're going to university. And you think of the orientation days and welcome days at university campuses, and we really wanted to mirror those types of experiences at our local community college. So we designed something that we've maintained the name for years. It's called Frisco Day. Students have advocated to keep the name. It originally was a Friday event where it was a culminating in spring of all of the enrollment activities. And then we bring students on campus to engage in planning, meeting with Transfer Center, looking at opportunities, connecting with student support services and organizations, and then completing any enrollment steps if needed, or capturing those students like Juan described, either that their plans changed and they had to pivot and they're on board now late in May or late April, early May, or they're just starting to feel, we know, human development rise, adolescents, they might not feel the connection to the post-secondary goals in August. And then in April, something changes or their peers pull them along. And we have a lot of students that kind of just come on board and start to engage in planning. We have continued to do this event for 15 years in some iteration, including through the pandemic, where we held a virtual event and still maintain some success of having students engage with community college staff and counselors in virtual spaces. And then we moved back to a hybrid across both institutions. And then we had our first back to full in-person last April. And so we'll continue that. We're really trying to shift our focus to making sure students do complete those enrollment steps and are ready to engage on the day to register for classes. One of the things that our Bridge to Success partnership has done over the years, and a lot of focus on this in the earlier years, was policy change, implementing different types of policy across institutions or that impact students at the community college. And our different voices in the Bridge to Success space were able to inform those policies, one of them being priority registration for all SFUSD students. So they actually can register on Frisco Day sooner than almost every other student group, with the exception of students with disabilities and veteran students. So it really is removing that barrier that existed, that we know in community college for so long, around by the time they're able to register, there's not a lot of classes available. That was a big focus for us early on, and that has since resolved. There's no longer much of an issue for our students. Similar to what's been shared, we focus a lot on spending time, as I mentioned, together. So we bring our college access teams are community-based organizations, excuse me, our school counselors, and then all of our city college partners, admissions, financial aid, counseling, placement, assessment, and all of the student programs. And we come together at multiple points in the year. So we just brought back our fall virtual check-in where our Bridge to Success core team met with each high school site, counselors, CBO partners, and administrators just to check in and get going on the planning and support of tours and things that were mentioned. And then we do an all in-person event, spend a morning together in January to really launch and celebrate the season, go over changes, the application, all of those things. And then we check in with the counselors in the spring. We also have lead counselors at each of our high school because, again, this is a lot to coordinate across institutions, and it's a lot for City College to have to coordinate with each of the high schools. So we have a counselor that semi-volunteers to be this FISCA lead, and they kind of coordinate systems and communication to bring back to their team. City College has also assigned financial aid leads. So each of our high schools has a financial aid point person that they can touch base with. And that really, again, barrier removed of having this direct contact person. I know I have to move on with time. So a couple of final highlights. My colleague who I mentioned is actually there today. At City College, we have been doing alternative and county high school field trips. So we have a really intentional day, multiple days for alternative and county students to come to City College and have their own day of planning and exploration. And for students that might be graduating December, they can get on board and get ready to go in spring. And then our core team meets regularly to do a lot of that cross collaboration and planning, and then brings in the different stakeholders along the way, which has really helped smoothline communication. We have a newsletter for our fiscal leads and community-based partners. And we have some events that we plan together. And then two last things I'll say, because I think there's a great strategies, is we do have a senior tracker that each of our high school teams utilize, where they look at every single senior at their school and their college or post-secondary planning to make sure that they're being supported. And we input the City College enrollment steps data in there so they can see the progress for students. And we also have a communication system that my colleague has developed with our data team to send emails celebrating students and reminding them about their steps and the progress to keep them going and motivated. Thank you.
I have a few items that I really want to highlight, but I would say one of the initial ones is being able to host a counselor conference, like an annual counselor conference. And really the intent for this was to provide updates from the institution, whether it's programming, courses, opportunities for students, and being able to share that out with area high school counselors. We had a shift in the planning and the makeup of the event over the last couple of years, and really, again, being intentional as far as inviting not just high school counselors, but some of our partner staff, CBO staff, organizations like 10,000 Degrees, to having them attend. No better way to disseminate this information broadly and directly to students and families than informing other folks that are supporting these same students and families. And so I would just say that, starting with that, right? Being able to provide, like I said, timely updates, informational, whether it's courses, program changes, whatever, and then upcoming opportunities for students as well. And that's one of the other changes that coincided with that, is being able to front load that in the early part of the school year. So providing this information so that counselors, partners have this and be able to share that out and support students throughout the rest of the academic year. Another opportunity is our College Success Saturday. So a priority registration event for incoming students directly out of high school. One thing that 10KD has always been willing to support, and they're always there, not just in supporting the event, but also providing information regarding financial aid and scholarship opportunities for students and families. Really, I think we do a really good job of being able to share this with students, right? But sometimes it's a little more difficult to capture the parents or the families. And so having them on site and being able to provide this not just in English, but also in Spanish, being able to provide all this information that really can make a difference in supporting their students, just continuing their education. And so really excited about that. And lastly, one of the key programs at Summer Bridge, at College of Marin, is our Summer Bridge program. It's a program that started before my time at the college, but it started in collaboration with 10,000 Degrees. It continues to be run in collaboration with 10,000 Degrees. And we just completed our 12th year this past summer. Planning has started for this, scary to say, summer 2026, but we're prepping and getting ready for that as well. But really, again, being able to embed partners like 10,000 Degrees into the programming, making time and scheduling that for students to hear about some of this information, embedding time for students to be able to work on their financial aid applications, but complete them, submit them, and then also the scholarship search, being able to search for different scholarships. One of the things that happened institutionally is that we moved our scholarship window, our institutional scholarship window, to really align with this. So providing students opportunities throughout the summer so that they can apply for and request some scholarship support, and having those awarded in the early part of the fall semester. And so, like I said, just providing opportunity for students to be able to work on some of this throughout the summer. And especially with participants in Summer Bridge, having that support, not just from College of Marin, but also from 10,000 Degrees. And really excited to say that over the last 12 years, we've seen that the number of students that take part, they take more classes, they pass more classes, and they transfer or graduate at a faster rate than non-participants. And with support of 10,000 Degrees a few years ago, we were actually able to add an ESL component to Summer Bridge, really supporting students that are working on their English language development, but being able to share the same information and access to the same resources as students that are coming into our general program. So really excited about that. And like I said, the planning has started and it continues for summer 2026.
Awesome. Thank you for that, y'all. We'll go on to our next question. So what advice would you give educators or organizations in the room who want to align their efforts more effectively with partners to support community college-bound students? And again, we'll start with Juan. And then again, if you all have questions, please put them in the chat. But yeah, go take it away, Juan.
Thank you. I really thought about this question, and if there's one thing I would suggest and advise is try to get the top administrators aligned with you. And what I mean by top administrators is your high school principal, or at the junior college, a dean, a department head. You really need to get the top administrators to be on board. And why do I say this? And I'm going to use the example of Hillsborough High School again. And the counselor at Hillsborough High School has this vision of all the students to submit, to apply for Santa Rosa Junior College. And he got the support from the top administrators, from the principal, the vice principal, who will talk to the instructors of, like the English instructors, to allow us, Santa Rosa Junior College, to go in and take their time, their classroom time, because a lot of times instructors don't want to give up their time. They have not excuses, they have a curriculum to follow, and they are very tight. So having the support of the top administrator is very, very important. And and Hillsborough High School, I mean, I use them a lot because they're doing good things. They're also, for 3 years in a row, they have been the top high school in our area with the highest number of financial aid applications. And so once again, why is this? Why 3 years in a row? Why do they have such a high percentage? Is because they have the support of the top administrators. And so you need to align your ideas and your goals, and make sure that you get the support from the top. And so that would be my advice to you. really knock on their door and get the support from the top administrators.
I completely agree with that. I will try not to take too much time this time. I would just add, I think part of maybe anything related to what Juan described, I said earlier, being in each other's spaces is really critical. And I think that does help when you're wanting to get to that top kind of decision-making power or support from leadership, is being together in those spaces. It definitely makes it feel like less of like asks from each other, but more of partnership and then more buy-in. I also wanted to just emphasize for like the non-community college staff, if you weren't on the community college alum, or even if you have, 'cause it's been maybe a while, taking a class if you can is a great strategy. I found it to be, I went to City College and I still went back into classes years later, and I found it to be so helpful, just like navigating the application, being on campus, understanding things that I can then communicate with students, and then just remembering the robust nature of the programming and also understanding all of the robust courses offered for students at a community college. I'm able to have conversations with students as they're sharing their interests, and then they know the catalog really well. So knowing the community college's catalog in any of the roles that we sit in really helps students be able to explore and connect to the best options for themselves. And then an example that's also a strategy that I didn't mention earlier, but it's an example of being in each other's spaces. We do have a summer melt program that my colleagues in our college access team lead in the summer, and 10,000 Degrees is definitely a key team player in that space. And then City College also comes. So this is both a hybrid virtual option for students and families and in person, to check in with every single senior to make sure they're connected and ready for life after high school. And City College staff come and sit in these spaces as well, and we all just serve them as one. So any opportunity to kind of be all hands together has been effective. And then I think the last thing I'll just say about in-device is just really communicating with your teams about why we do this work. Staying really grounded in who our community college-bound students are is critical. It is different. It has a different lens. Many of us come to this work because of a personal connection, and I think you've heard that a lot already this morning. And that's important to know, because our language matters, our own biases matter, and we spend a lot of time removing or addressing the myths about community college. And we still see it sometimes in classrooms, maybe a teacher or something, but we've worked so hard, and I think we've come a long way in like how we could talk about and empower our students around community college planning. So really think being attention about language, reducing stigma, and grounding in your why.
Actually, to before I answer the question and to build off of that, I would think I would just say and share that just knowing, and I'm sure with the line of work that we're all in, that every student's journey is really individualized, it's really unique, and just because they take a different path, a different little roadway to get to their goals, doesn't make them any less successful. So echoing what Mariana just said, but I would say, as far as recommendations for any, whether it's institutionally, departments, I would just say take some time and reflect and think about, map out what supports you can bring to the table and what that can look like in your area. And that's the other thing to keep in mind too. We're all operating in fairly close proximity, but very unique areas as well, right? Marin is very widespread, but our work tends to be very concentrated in specific areas. Number one, that's where the population is, but also we've identified some gaps, and that's where our focus will be. And so I would think that, so I would just say recommend that. So think about your specific area. What does that look like? Are there any gaps that are missing, and things that you can provide? And I would say everyone's busy. And so if there's something that you all can provide that maybe we're not the best at, or we don't have time to really dial in and dive in to provide 100% of that support, I don't think anyone's going to be upset for you wanting to step in and support a specific part in support of the students. And I really want to echo as far as being able to learn the process and experience the process. whether it is a taking a class or at least going through some of these different applications. CCC Apply has specific hangups, so that's a statewide application for students to enroll in a community college. And so learning about that, experiencing it firsthand can go a really long way. And so just being able to identify if you're having a hang up or if I'm having a hang up somewhere, that means some students elsewhere might be experiencing something similar. So identifying what those hangups may be as well. And then my last piece was just say, don't be afraid of collaboration. I think we all can get so much more done when we do collaborate. It's what we do already. And like I said, generally, I don't think anybody, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I wouldn't be mad as far as being able to divide some of this work and making sure that we're actually reaching the students that we need to and being able to support them along the way. And so really excited to continue this partnership with 10,000 Degrees. I know College of Marin, my department, our outreach and partnerships office collaborates with a ton of different schools, districts, organizations, but it really works well when there are different groups that can focus on specific things and being able to divide a lot of the work. And so excited to be able to continue that, not just now, but going forward as well.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to move on to our last question. And again, thank you, our panelists, for sharing very insightful answers to this. And then also, like, I hope that a lot of folks take a lot of their advice, and then also like connect with them and make sure that you're taking away some items, and then also that you're registering so you can receive this presentation. So our last question, and I think Julian, you touched on this through your answers, but partnership can evolve over time, especially when staff or leaders transitions occur. What strategies or structures have you found effective for both building and sustaining strong partnerships through these changes? And again, we'll start with Juan, and then Mariana and Julian.
For us, for me, actually, I'm going to speak for myself. We understand that every year changes can occur, and the partnerships and relationships that you build with someone, unfortunately, sometimes you have to start all over again with new staff. So something that really works for us at Santa Rosa Junior College is every year we have our high school conference, high school counselors conference. It's an opportunity for all of our counselors to come together and learn about the junior college and learn about all of our programs and services. Those are for the new members or the new counselors that are working with us. But that also gives us an opportunity to meet that new staff in person, not just over the phone or over email. It just kind of is a much better feeling, I guess you can say that, just to meet your partner in person rather than just over the phone or email. So it works for us every year. Every year we come together, and that gives us an opportunity to just have those strong partnerships in case they changed. And so I'll leave with that, and I'll pass it on to Mariana.
Okay. So I think the main thing that I wanted to just reiterate, well, actually I have some concrete things, but then I'm going to just again reiterate the similar to Tim shared, but again, the relationship building, just really carving out that time for relationship building. And for the work that has been going on for a long time like us, it's important to be able to have time to carve out those historical perspectives, giving space to hearing this historical perspectives, but not living there, right? And I'm often that person that brings that historical perspective because I've been doing the work for so long, but being also clear that we want to continue to evolve the work and elicit new ideas so that we don't get stuck. But some really concrete things that I think are important is documentation of the services, the strategies, the work that you're doing. I mentioned we do newsletters, communication, events, with all the things that we've all been describing, making sure that that is documented and clear so that if needed, someone can pick up that work and move it forward, and that's shared across the institutions in some way, that's managed. We don't want to lose that historical work, or an event or something can't happen because of change. Utilizing the voices of experts. So if you have school counselors or college counselors or other staff, community-based organizations that have been continuing through the work, and you've had shifts in teams or organizations, utilizing those voices and expertise to do things like this, like a train-the-trainer, to lead panels, also to give them leadership opportunities to help sustain the work. And then finally, just having sustainable strategies. We like to think big. I think we all want to do like really big strategies, events, sometimes things that cost a lot of money, that take a lot of coordination. And what we have found we've lost many team members along the way. And what we have found is that we have to think sustainable. So really thinking about, as we're planning anything new or maintaining previous strategies or activities, that they have buy-in by stakeholders across both institutions, that they have commitment by stakeholders. What are the funding needs? Like, is this a sustainable funding need? Is this a low stakes funding need? Is this grant funded? Really being clear about what that looks like, and then building capacity, that these strategies are capacity building, so that they're helping students or schools or the college do more, rather than taxing. So just thinking about sustainable practices so that it can continue on.
The only other thing that I would add is just a couple of things. So whether it's however a partnership is started, whether it's institution, like whether it's leadership, or whether it's staff or a department, I would say just focus on the goal, or the work that grounds the partnership. In our case, at College of Marin and 10,000 Degrees, I think we always see it reflected in looking at the screen out in the students, right? And so whether it's sitting down and meeting with somebody from 10KD, or the 10,000 Degree staff is present at some of our different events. I've seen 10,000 Degree staff enroll and take classes at College of Marin just because they happen to be there so often. But I would say that just focus on the goal, right? And that's student support. And obviously, I think what Juan and Mariana said, it's easier for a partnership to really continue, and in our case, just really be well established if there's buy-in from both sides, and being able to. And that's kind of why I mentioned, like, it doesn't matter where it starts, but I think as you create that buy-in, it really allows it to flourish and kind of weave throughout different departments, different areas, and just have it continue. And in our case, I know our leadership, President Eldridge, is a huge supporter of 10,000 Degrees. He's also very much involved. And so that's just one example. Does it need to get to that point with every institution or every sort of partnership? I don't think it needs to, but it definitely helps everything, right? And so really excited about that. And at least for us, I know that if there are opportunities for me to embed some 10KD support or some of their staff, whether it's events, it's different programs, I think the answer usually is when is it, or what time, and how many people do we need, instead of having to think whether it's a yes or a no. But and vice versa. I really hope that they feel that they can ask the same of me. So really excited about that. And like I said, just being able to focus on the goal, being able to support students.
Thank you so much to our panelists for taking time out of their busy schedules to share some of their wisdom and just best practices. Again, if you all have any questions, please add it in the chat, as they will continue to be with us throughout the presentation. But moving on, again, thank you. Let's show some love to our panelists via reactions, or if you have any questions in the chat, please put them there. But again, thank you so much, Juan, Mariana, Julian, for taking the time to share with us some of your best practices.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm going to give you a few seconds to come back on. Again, I just wanted to highlight in the chat, if you haven't signed in, please do so. So that way we can make sure we send out the materials to you after the end of this workshop. Awesome. And before we kick it off and introduce our student panelists, I do want to just get just a feel of who's in the room. If you attended a community college and you're a community college alumni, can you go ahead and just maybe give me a reaction, a heart emoji, anything like that? Awesome. Love it. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Awesome. We'll go ahead and start. So, like I said, I know everyone's super excited about this portion because we get to hear from our scholars. I am super excited about this because I had the privilege to work with our panelists here. So, of course, please show love and send some reactions because they worked really hard to be here today. So we appreciate their time. I want to acknowledge each of them for taking their time to share their experience with us today. We hope that everyone gains valuable perspective from this panelists and just insights from their story, but also to recognize that not all pathways are the same, and I'm super excited to just highlight those stories. Of course, if you have questions, concerns throughout the panel discussion, please feel free to unmute yourself at the end or write it in the chat. But we'll go ahead and start with introductions. Each panelist will just share their names, their college that they attend, and their majors. And we'll begin with Alex.
It is so exciting to be here today. So my name is Alex Hernandez, and I'm a psych major, and I'm also currently attending College of Marin.
Thank you, Alex. JD?
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here. I'm JD Gonzalez. I am currently attending College of Marin and I am majoring in Administration of Justice.
Thank you, JD. Hesner? Is Hesner in the room?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's
Yeah,
the
no.
connection for hello. My name is Jason. I attended to Contra Costa College and my major is public health sciences.
Awesome. And last but not least, Monse.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Monse, and I am a transfer student at San Diego State. My major is kinesiology, emphasis in pre-physical therapy.
Awesome. And I did not coach them up to say that they're excited, so I'm glad that they're naturally just excited for this. So awesome. We can go on to the next slide. Awesome. So you've heard a little bit about our students and their background. They're going to share a little bit more about themselves. Also, too, you can share your goals, why you chose community college, and what factors influenced your decision to attend a community college. We're going to start with Alex.
So hi again. So I'm currently attending College of Marine, and this is actually my third year. And I'm actually working on the transfer process right now. I'm applying to UC Berkeley, USF, and also San Francisco State University. These are just some of the universities I'm applying to. And for the future, I'm hoping to maybe become a psychotherapist. I would like to give back to my community, and for me, this is a way that I'm trying to do it. But at the same time, I'm also considering doing something in research, probably in the areas of psychopharmacology or um, clinical psychology. These are just some of the goals that I have for the future, and I think that the main one of the main factors that led me to community college is actually the fact that English is not my first language. I came to the United States 5 years ago, and during high school, I had to take English as a second language classes. Even though I did good in all of those classes, I still had to improve my English. So after finding out that College of Marine had the classes that I needed to take, I decided to join and enroll College of Marine. At the same time, I also didn't really know what to do after high school. I didn't really have any idea what to do. It was either working or studying, and I think for me, College of Marine represented like a place where I could have more time to find out what I wanted to do, what I like, and my interests. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. JD?
Hi everybody again. I'm JD. I am sorry, I'm a little nervous. Um,
You're doing great. Take your time.
so I'm currently attending College of Marine. I'm here little bit self about myself. I am when I got out from high school, the main thing that I did in here is get a job at the College of Marine. I did not knew what to do in my path. I was trying to go in like in law enforcement, basic. Did not knew what a community college was until I did some research and got help by my counselors in high school and helped by other programs that are in high school. And I'm super excited. This is like my third year and doing my applications for transferring to Davis or Dominican. And I am still inclining to go to Sonoma State on it, but I'm trying to go on to criminology. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, JD. Hesner.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Garcia Salvez, and I study Public Health Sciences and Contra Costa College. I chose this college because it was close to that where I live, and at the time I don't have transportation, and I don't want to travel over to San Francisco or Berkeley every day. So Contra Costa was the most realistic option for me to starting my education, but over time, it's coming more than just to close college. It's coming a place where I begin to grow, learn, and fit my pain. I coming to you. I coming to United States looking for a better future because I from Nicaragua and my country is happening very difficult situation in 2018. So for the young people, it's difficult to give a future, a school, or job. So, and I come in here because my mom gives the opportunity, and I appreciate that. And I grow and was often sick and spent a lot of time in hospital. This experience made me want to study something related to medicine, not because I like sciences at first time, but because I want to understand how health can change people's life if we always want to help others who goes through difficult moments, especially to who don't have the same access to care or support the others do. My biggest motivation is my mom. She always been the person who believes in me the most, even when things go hard, when I doubt myself, when school feel overwhelming. She reminding me that I could keep going. Everything I do now. I wish the hope of building better future for us. She sacrificed so much to give me opportunity, and I want to make sure it was all working. Sometimes that also inspire me a lot of music, especially from the personality. The hoodie I have right now is from him, the merch. So I really connected with. Uh, he has a new album, Los perros no entienden internet y yo no entiendo el sentimiento, really connected with me. The way that he's talking about feelings, los misunderstand, and trying to rebuilding your identity after chaos. Speaking to how I feel many times when listening to his song. I remember that life is not always perfect, but that ground often coming from pain and confusion. That what Contra Costa has mean for me, a place to revolving to understand myself and take a small step toward the person I want to becoming. My goal is to keep going and study, transfer to university, and one day working in radiology for help people to stay with doctor and nurses was help me and want to make difference not just for my family but for my community, and I believe this is where that journey truly beginning. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate that. Okay, we have Monse.
Hello, everyone. Again here. My name is Montse. So a little bit about myself. I'm actually the first person in my family to pursue higher education. Um, I love um, I love going on nature walks, as well as I love to volunteer whenever I have time. I love to give back to my community, and I also have three medium-sized dogs. So one of like my career goal as of now is to actually pursue occupational therapy. I want to be an occupational therapist. And what got me into like I know for a fact that I want to help out people, and healthcare was a really good starting point for me, at least to help out like both my family and also like my Latina people out there, communities. And some factors that influenced me to like attend community college was financial reasons. I wasn't able to go to a 4 year due to like it being extremely expensive and just not affordable for me. So community college was a great starting point. Also, I was at the time during high school when I was a senior in high school. I was very unclear what I wanted to do, what career I wanted to pursue at that time. So it really helped me out on what my passions were, what I wanted to pursue, and how I wanted that to be my long-term goal in giving back to my community. I also do this for my mom. She sacrificed a lot for my sister and I and for our family, and I really want to be that financial support for her once I grow older, be able to like look after her when she retires. She's my entire life, and I want to give back to my mom for allowing me to have a better opportunity here. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Awesome. So awesome, you got to meet our future leaders. So of course, if you have questions, concerns, please ask them in the chat. And we could go on to the next question. Awesome. So what has been the most positive or rewarding part of your community college experience? Alternatively, what has been the biggest challenge you faced? Hasn't? You're on mute, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The most positive part of my college most positive part of my college experience has been at least how much I grow, not just as a student, but as a person. When I first studied at the Contra Costa College, I was confident. I was still learning English because I come in here with 6 years. It's too difficult for people because in my native country, the education is very poor. It's a country who do have a big future is for the young people. You say, okay, so I rebelled. I don't have future here. Maybe I can grow, work, and I don't know, selling fruit, something like that. I have many problems in my life. When I was 16, I saw remote people. For define my identity, I decided to give personal change for me to rewards for my future. So I get a little person. I have the one here and the nose tree, and that represent myself. So the most positive part of my college is that not just a student, but a person has to a new country and try to find my place. It took time, but learning that I belong here as to I completely or more to tell. One of my best challenges was the semester when I have my professor who never replied my emails or often help at the research or out him in a game. But I never go a respond. But then I followed the class. I lost a scholarship. I have worked hard for it. Was one of the hardest moments for me because I left ignoring and disappointed. I like no one cared. For a while, I thought about giving out, but then I remember why I started my mom for my future and for my goal. The experience taught me that even when others don't support you, you have to support yourself. It showed me that strength does coming from success is coming from how you recover when things fall apart. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, next, Alex.
Hey again. So for me, I think the most rewarding or most positive experience at College of Marine would be actually working as a student ambassador for the Welcome Center. Uh, so what I do is I basically help people sign up for classes, apply for financial aid, and also for scholarships. And in addition to that, I also help them navigate different resources that we have on campus. So if a student has any questions or doesn't really know where to go, usually going with me and my coworkers would be like the best stuff since we would be able to redirect them to the right resource. Uh, for me, this is a positive experience because it has allowed me to meet new people, to connect with faculty, and also to make new friends. But I think what makes this experience even more rewarding is the fact that I'm helping people, that I'm helping other students who may not have like a lot of access to education. Um, During my 2 years at College of Marine, working at the Welcome Center, I've seen many first generation college students, students coming back to school after a few years, or students who are trying to join a program. And I know, or I've seen that most of the time they feel lost, or they feel, or they don't really know what to do. And I feel grateful that I'm there to help them, even though it may be a little bit uncomfortable for them to go through that process. But I'm really grateful and that I'm there for them. And for the most challenging or for the biggest challenge that I faced, I think that just having English as my second language is like the biggest challenge I faced throughout college. I still had to take some classes, some English classes at College of Marine, and even after leaving, I always had that insecurity about my English, and I think that's a challenge that I've always faced in my classes. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you both. Next question. Okay, what resources or support systems on campus or outside of campus have been the most helpful for you in navigating college? JD?
Hi again, it's me, JD. One of the main resources that's been supportive for me throughout how I've been here at College of Marine is like the programs that they're here. They're really helpful. Like an example of EOPS, 10,000 degrees, maps, SAS, um, Emoja. I'm in those programs, which they're amazing because I'm a trilingual. And especially if you don't know none of those two languages, like I came to learning here in this country, like English and Spanish at the same time, it's really tough to for me to compromise or read. Mostly English for me is kind of difficult to read, but I don't, without those programs, it's a really helpful programs because they help me to navigate it or what resources I could get or help throughout my journey here at College of Marine. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you, JD. I'm like, it's such a flex to be able to speak three languages. So I'm like so proud of you over here. Awesome. And then Alex.
Okay, so I think while in college, I've used many of the resources, but I think the ones that have come most helpful to me are the tutoring center, the counseling office, and the transfer center. For the tutoring center, I don't really, I used to not go a lot because most of the time I would be able to manage the work and just do my homework. However, over the last, well, in this semester, I've been going more since my research methods class has been a little bit challenging, and I found that going to the tutoring center, meeting with the tutor, asking for help, that's really helpful. And I've also done that to in other classes, and I feel like thanks to that taking that approach or to taking that initiative, I've been able to succeed in many of my classes and do well. Regarding the counseling department, so there was a time where I was a little bit lost. I had many interests. Psychology is one of my main interests, but I also had interest in biology, math, and anthropology. And I feel like going to the counseling department and just talking to my counselor about those interests and what I wanted to do, that kind of helped me a little bit narrowing down and just choose a path for me. And regarding the transfer center, I think that it has helped me become more familiar with the transfer process on how to apply to different colleges, how to see what colleges I want to apply to research their psychology program and see what resources they have for me, and that has been really helpful. And finally, I would say 10,000 degrees has been a really good resource. I think that um, I remember that I used the mentorship program from 10,000 degrees, and I've been able to talk to some mentors, and which are people working in different fields. And some of the people I've talked to are they're working in healthcare, um, psychotherapy, law, or something like that. And that has come really helpful to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And yes, it takes a village to support our scholars, and we're so glad that they're being able to tap into the resources on campus and as well as 10,000 Degrees fellows and just the resources available as well. So thank you for highlighting that. We can go on to the next question. Awesome. Thinking back to high school, what kind of support or guidance did you receive when deciding to attend community college? Monse?
Hello, Monse here again. So thinking back at high school, I did receive a little bit of guidance when I decided to attend community college. I received some support from some high school teachers, both in science and in math. But my biggest support system, I would say, was 10,000 Degrees, my 10,000 Degrees fellow at the time, which was Barbara. She gave me, the best advice at that time as a senior, which was to apply to my community college, and that was Santa Rosa Junior College. She also helped me out with like creating a list of colleges I wanted to apply to, as well as encouraging me to apply to scholarships and also filling out the FOSTA form. Thanks to her and thanks to all the people that supported me back in high school, I am where I am today. And through community college, I was able to honestly discover my passion for kinesiology, mostly for healthcare, and the importance of giving back to my community. Thank you.
Awesome. And now Barbara is a manager with the Access program. So super glad that she's still here and supporting students. Awesome. JD.
Hi again. Thinking back of like going to high school is like what kind of supports that I got there is like I remember when I was in my senior year and my sophomore year, one of the big main thing I got support is like for the counseling department. That was the hugest part. Like I remember one of like the counselors that used to help me a lot because like I said, I'm a trilingual person and it was kind of tough to see resources of like what kind of college because attending 4-year college it's really expensive, it's not affordable for my budget, but then they like recommended, oh, like you want to start like to a community college, or do you want to see, like they took me to trips to go check on schools. Like I forgot the program that we did in the summer here at the College of Marin. That was a pretty awesome program that we did because it helped me to think of like, oh, that's where I want to go. Like I want to attend this college. Like I want to see myself in there. Um, but yeah, like the biggest support is I went to different clubs also being in high school. Um, I forgot the name of the program that me and my sister were. It was a really awesome program. My sister was with 10,000 Degrees too, which I I don't know how I wasn't a part of it, but then when I started here at College of Marine, my sister she said, "Oh, you should apply to 10,000 Degrees. It's an awesome program." And then she helped me a lot because she knew more better than I know that I'm the older of her, but she always like, "Oh, you want to do this? Let's do this together." Like we always been all the time until this year. I stayed at the College of Marine by myself. She transferred already to San Jose. I'm super happy for her that she's in San Jose doing her major for aviation. So I'm so proud of her, and I'm still here, and hopefully to transfer. And but yeah, that's the programs that I got help with. Like I said, counselors are really helpful. Other programs where I got help, for example, it's not called the ESL. I don't know how to say the name of the program that I was into where I got really help a lot because I couldn't enough just talk like plain. Like they say you could talk, but it's for me it used to be hard for me to read and understand. Like I could speak clearly. Like a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you speak so clearly English." Like, wow, we can't believe, but it was kind of hard. I could speak it, but it was kind of like tough to like write it or read it in front of like I used to get embarrassed sometimes in front of my classmates, but then throughout my like journey or like counselor, they help me and they're like, don't be afraid, don't be, just be yourself, don't, it's just like nervous, like it's crazy how it goes, but that's how I feel like it was like high school, thinking like back in high school it was pretty helpful, and I'm thankful of one counselor that I had, and I forgot her name, but she works here at the Welcome Center. When I came here at the College of Marin, she helped me to do my application for the cadet program where now I'm currently working at the College of Marin. Um, I was the best ever thing that I could attend having a job in a community college. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, JD. Appreciate that. Awesome. We'll go into the next question. So, was there anything you wish your high school educators, counselors, or others have had done differently to prepare you for the transition? And we'll start with Hesner.
Hello. Uh, I was just high school and college focus more on role listening to students, not just to what we said, but to what we feel. Sometimes it feel like the system over care about the grade, attendance, and deadlines, and forget about the person beginning then. When you try to research out for half, no one answer, you start to feel invisible. That happened to me. I email, I want, and I hope, but no one respond. By the end of the semester, I fell in a classes and lost scholarship and have working really hard for. The experience broken something inside me. It was just about a grade. It was about feeling, and don't matter over time. That pain turning into depression. I stopped feeling motivated and started questioning if I really belong in the college. I feel like I was carrying everything alone, but little by little, I found how people coming into my life who made a difference, teachers, mentors, and friends who care. One of them was my professor the ESL in third semester. It's Professor Rebecca. She took the time to listen to me to understand what I was going through, and that reminded me that I still had purpose. She told me that one bag experience don't define my story. Her kindness, along with the supporting my mom and the other, helped me slowly coming out of the depression and start being myself again. Music also helped me. My how artists like the Precious Sonora give me words for to think I could say out loud. Hicimos algo, los perros no entienden internet y Yo no entiendo de sentimientos talk about feeling lost, disconnection, and try to rebuild yourself. The message hit me uh, the plane. I remember me that even in the middle of the confusion or pain, you can't always find your way back. That's why I believe the school should focus more on connection. I truly know their student, not just grade them. Sometimes we don't need other assignment. We just need some time to notice, to asking and we're okay, or to say you are not alone. Education should be never make the student feel invisible. It should help them feel seen, supported, and capable of becoming more than their circumstance. Because when sometimes shows to listening and believing in you, they don't just change your education; they can share your entire life. I can end with this speech with a phrase that my professor of counseling say: every student is a genius in different areas. If you can take your time to discover what area is your genius talent. Thank you.
Thank you, Hesner. And then I'll have Monse.
Hello. I just wanted to add a little bit more onto what Justner said. And for me, I would say that I wish my high school educators would have been more transparent about college demands, community college demands, and what that entitled to, and also like time management. Since when I was in community college, I had to work part-time and as well as um, uh, balance out my academics. So I wish they would have told me ahead of time, like what that would look like and how I would be able to manage my time. Also, just like giving me like guidance about like student resources at my community college, that would have been extremely helpful for me. I had to navigate that on my own, finding where financial aid, learning more about EOPS. And other programs that support low-income students. Also, just the importance of networking and connections that you make at community college, how important that is and vital to your academic and your professional success. I wish there would have been more, more motivated me more towards like, how building partnerships with people, how that helps you in the long run. Thanks to programs at my community college, it like opened doors to me, like applying to internships, being part of like low income programs such as like MESA, Avanzando, and HOPE, which stands for Health Occupation Preparation and Education Program, and also attending conferences. Again, I wish I would have known this earlier, to have taken advantage of the opportunities at my community college at an early time. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you both for sharing your experience. Awesome. We're at our last question already. So, um, yeah, so what advice would you give to high school educators or counselors to best prepare students who are planning to attend community college? Hesner?
Hello. So this speech I wanna talk about, it's about my experience, about the experience of my friends, people I seen when I was high school, the friends high school and college. My advice for teacher and counselor is to truly listen, not just the what the students say, but that what they feel. Sometimes when you don't need more assigning or strict rules, what we really need is someone who believes in yes. Someone who say as people with dream strongly, not just names on a list. A lot of students get out, not because they don't care, but because they feel invisible. They try to they try their research out, they ask for help, and when no one responds, they start believing that maybe they don't matter that happening to me. And I think whole I see the education and that silence can hurt just as much as failure, but also I learned that a single act of kindness has teacher who replace, a counselor who listen, or someone who said, I believe in you, can completely change a student life. Right now, many young people are struggling with families problem, mental health, or pursuit that success or are surrounded by bad influence and can easily fall into drugs or take the rock pain. That's why students don't just need teachers, we need role models. We need people who guide us, who show us that our lives can go in different directions, that there's something better waiting for us. When teachers and counselors take the time to care, they coming to light that keep us from losing yourself. Sometimes I think about the person Sonora. He's also cómo será vivir en campo. It's talk about wanting to escape, to leave everything behind, to think in peace somewhere else for away. I think a lot of students feel that where sometimes I try lost ready to get out. But that's why teacher and counselor are so important. You are the one who can remind me us that we don't have to run away to find peace. To someone hope can grow right where we are if someone help us see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesner. And then I'll pass it over to Monse.
So for me, I would say the advice I would give high school educators or counselors would just be a guide to the student seeking help and just being supportive of the student's career choice, whether it be to go to community college, trade school, or 4 year, or even outside of that, like whatever they want to do in their life. Also getting like earlier exposure, maybe to alternatives, like I know a lot of high school counselors are focused on like 4 year universities, which is great. But also exposing them to like community colleges is also like a great starting point as well for some students. And then also just being understanding, patient, and empathetic and compassionate about students' feelings and their circumstances. Not everyone comes from a different background, and everyone's needs are different and varies from person to person. So meeting those needs might look one way to for one student and then another differently in another. Also just like showing to that student that you really care about their future and that they're valued as a person. A lot of us who are come from low income or come from where our language is our first language isn't English. We don't know sometimes how to navigate these systems. So it's just nice to know that someone cares for you and wants the best for you and for your future. And also just being also just like allowing the student to feel comfortable in asking questions and asking help. I know a lot of people feel afraid or even shy to go ask for help just because of what the reaction might be. Sometimes asking for help is not something a lot of students are comfortable with. So just like having that friendly and compassionate environment helps a lot. This isn't just a story. This isn't just my story, but those I share it with too. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That concludes our panel discussion. Before I pass it over to Abby, I want to just give a huge shout out to our scholars for being here and taking the time. If you know, last couple of weeks they had midterms and finals and things like that, and they still met with me to prepare for this event. So thank you so much. Your story is so important to us, and your journey, your pathway, and sharing that story with everyone here is so appreciative. So we just want to thank you so much for being here. JD, Alex, and Monse and Hesner, appreciate you all. And now pass it over to Abby.
Yeah, thank you so much, Perry. I know we're running closer to time, but again, I really appreciate and want to give everybody just a huge shout out, especially to our panelists for being here, sharing your experiences. A lot of the work that's happening is really, really important. And so again, just thank you for your time. But with that in mind, we wanted to also just quickly wanted to go over some takeaways that, we've received from the panelists and their experiences. First, it's been emphasized that strong partnerships are built on trust, clear roles, open communication, collaboration, and continuous feedback. With this in mind, effective planning becomes the next critical step in supporting community college-bound students, right? So thinking about early college planning and securing fall support to ensure these students are fully included in all college going initiatives. In addition, providing transparent guidance on college life. I think this is something that was super highlighted within our student experiences, right? Thinking about expectations and key resources, and making sure that we're connecting our students to the different resources available on campus, such as financial aid, EOPS, tutoring services, just to help better support our students feel informed and confident from the start. Beyond preparation, it's also important to highlight multiple pathways and emphasize long-term planning so students can explore transfer options, certificates, and degree paths that align with their goals and build confidence in their decisions, right? So again, really thinking about where we're meeting students and meeting them where they're at and just being supportive with the goals that they have in mind. And then finally, providing foundational tools and personal connections by teaching basic college navigation skills, and linking students to supportive people and programs that can guide their journey. So now that we've covered our key takeaways, I'm also excited to share that our 10,000 Degrees scholarship is open. Again, this is a really good opportunity for students to apply. So we definitely encourage you all to pass the word along. The priority deadline is March 2nd. This is available for all of the students that we serve in the different regions that we currently are in. As a reminder, we don't have a GPA or test score requirement to apply. We also don't have citizenship or documentation status requirement. Students must be pursuing a career program, community college, or four-year college university, and of course, demonstrate financial need. It's really easy to apply for our scholarship. Again, our teams are here to help you every step of the way. Students just need to submit their FAFSA California Dream Act application, and of course, complete the scholarship application through our 10,000 Degrees student portal. And I believe the link has been added to the in the chat. So definitely, again, share with your students, communities, families who might be interested in applying for our scholarship. And then next slide. Awesome. And before we wrap up today, we also wanted to share that we do have 10,000 Degrees financial aid community events happening on February 18th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is a spring financial aid submit workshop. So again, thinking about your students and families, it is a Zoom event. And so again, we highly encourage you all to share with your communities. You can definitely check out the website to get more information and register, but definitely wanted to make sure that you will have this information in case you have any of your scholars and families that might be interested in attending. And we're also going to continue our Train the Trainer events. So we have a couple that are coming up: best practices for supporting Black and African American students, best practices for supporting undocumented students, and last but not least, our career success programming for students. Two of them are happening in March. One of them is happening in May. These are also online through Zoom. And of course, if you're interested, we also encourage you to register for them because it's going to be a lot of great information, but also you'll also be able to get the information that you need, the slide decks, recordings, so that you can continue referring to it if you need so. And thank you, Tanya, for adding that in the chat. Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. And again, just thank you again for your time. As a reminder, please do not forget to sign in because this is going to allow us to share the recording, share the slide decks, and just any handouts that we have available for all of you. But again, enjoy the rest of your morning. We'll stick around in case you all have any additional questions. But again, thank you for your time. And we look forward to seeing you in the next Train the Trainers.